This isn't good conversation. we can cut this.
No, it's not.
Okay, folks. If you know what patina is, comment below.
That's gotta go. That's actually not patina. It's too much.
Honestly, fuck, that's good. Do we feel good about that closing, or?
The closing you just did? Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. I completely agree.
It was totally weird.
Welcome back to How to Survive a Scandal. Now, we're coming at this a little differently because this is the first episode we are recording after the podcast is actually launched.
So exciting.
Which is very exciting. So, how do you think the launch went? Thoughts?
The launch was exciting. I felt like I was birthing a baby. I couldn't believe the outpouring of excitement from friends and what's that when you're removed from someone? People, degrees of separation away.
Oh, second cousin twice removed.
Yeah, exactly, that sort of thing. It's exciting. The response is exciting. And I feel like we may not be saying a ton so far, but for whatever reason, people are along for the ride. And I love that. I'm excited about it.
I also feel like now that it's actually launched, and we're actually like hearing from people, I feel like not like the first few episodes weren't just fine, but I feel like it's going to be so much more fun to make the future episodes. So the one thing I will say, folks, is we are dying to hear your feedback, your thoughts, questions, comments, concerns. So please keep those coming. Use the DMs, flood those DMs.
We also have a website. So if you're following us on Instagram, or the link is in our bio, head on over and just
howtosurviveascandal.com. Use the contact form. Submit your gossip, submit your stories, submit your feedback, submit anything. We just want more of you, okay? So we want to hear from you. Okay, so today there is a lot on the docket, actually. Do you want to start? Do you have some local gossip to share?
I have some, I guess you could say, local gossip. It might not be considered gossip, but it's gossip in my life. There's a new roommate in town. And by that, I mean in my household, there is a new full-time roommate. And her name is York.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Oh,
so that is crazy.
God, this is crazy.
For folks
I'm absolutely shocked.
For folks who don't know,
idea.
I have a dog,
Holy
shit. I only have her part-time. So I share her with my ex. And recently, and by recently, I mean as of last night, that is no longer going to be the case moving forward. I'm going to have her full-time. Now,
I'm absolutely shocked.
This was not my choice.
Are you literally
kidding?
It
was not my decision. I will say that I have been thinking about it for a long time and had been thinking about if this is what I was going to do, and had even brought up the idea and said, like, hey, should we consider doing this? Or not should we consider doing this? Hey, I'm considering this. We had some sort of conversations back and forth and then took some time to decide. And then I thought about it and was like, no, I think this arrangement works. Better for her, better for me, whatever. Ultimately, long story short, that is not the decision that's being made, and it was not my decision.
That's
crazy. Yeah, it is crazy. And it's a little bit like change. It's a big change, you know?
No, that's insane. Because you had her like 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off.
Yeah. So I had 2 weeks of just being a totally free bird. It was the best of both worlds. And now I'm just going to be a full-time single mom. And to be honest, like at first I was like, oh, I'm scared. But now I'm kind of in this mode where I'm like, okay, let's do this. I'm actually really excited. Nobody thrives better on on like a routine than I do. And I think when something is like, if I'm about to go into like a really busy work week, or if I'm about to like start a new job that is going to be very, that's going to take a lot of time and energy, like sometimes that can be really good for me, because then I put like all of these things in place to make sure that I'm like on top of my shit and I'm like really taking care of stuff. So I feel like in some ways it's going to be really good for me, but I am also just like, whoa, it's big news.
That's actually life-changing
It is.
information. So you said this was as of last night.
This is as of last night, yeah.
Okay. So why?
No, told me it's a great question. I wish I could tell you.
Hard-hitting journalism, folks.
Yeah, I wish I could blow the story wide open. I wish I could tell you.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So did said X just kind of like ask, like, hey, can you take the dog full time?
No, like I said, it's something that I brought up, right? And it's a conversation that we'd been happening. So or that had been happening. It's not like I'm blindsided by it. I knew it was like a possibility, and like I said, I was the one who even like suggested it in the first place. So I can't act like I'm like, oh my God, this thing fell to me. But after I came to my own conclusion, I definitely was like, you know, this is where my head's at. Very much knew it was a possibility that that's not what the ultimate decision would be, but yeah, I'm sure there are reasons.
I'm gonna ask
reasons aplenty.
I'm gonna ask another really hard-hitting question, and I sure hope for the folks at home that the answer makes it in and you don't make me cut this. Was the final decision based on the dog or based on your relationship?
That I can't answer. I don't know.
We don't know, folks.
I don't know. I am not in the mind of others.
Wow, that is local gossip if I ever heard it.
I'm glad you think so.
Here first, folks. It's huge.
Yeah, you really did hear it here first, because
I mean, I'm hearing it here first, for the love of God.
yeah, I'm basically hearing it here first.
Whoa. Okay, folks. If you have survived a breakup, what did you do with the dog? Comment below. Flood the DMs. We want to know what's best for the dog. All of those kinds of things. No, that was a really, really good local gossip, and I want to thank you for,
Thank you for saying that.
sharing that.
Do
That
you
was
have
really
any?
strong. No.
Also, I just want to say that we have had people write in with some gossip, some gossip teasers. We're really excited. So I just don't want people to think that this like local gossip segment is
it's about to take off.
Yeah, it's like stale before it even had a chance to take off. I think it's gonna be good. Just waiting for the right time.
Yeah, we're about to blow some stories wide open.
Yeah, I
can
agree.
feel it.
That's the third time that phrase has been said.
Blow wide open?
Yeah,
Really?
Not blow wide open, but blow this story wide open specifically.
Oh, wow. Too bad.
Yeah.
Okay, so I actually did have a question that is kind of, it's on a national scale. It's not gossip, but it's just like, you know, a bit of a pop culture moment that I wanted to talk about. And also, I do hate this because I'm like, I'm going to be talking about something that has relevance right now. By the time this airs, it won't really. But I do want to assure the folks at home that we will be, like, in future episodes, will be a little bit closer. We'll be recording a little bit closer to the release date. So we will be able to talk about, like, more current events. I did want to ask you what you thought about Bad Bunny's Super Bowl performance, specifically, like not the performance in general. I'm curious to know what you personally make of these moments that are kind of discussed as like these big culturally and like artistically revolutionary moments, but then they like live within the confines of these like creepy, dusty institutions that like uphold these very like staunch ways of being, like the Super Bowl, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, this was this revolutionary moment, and it's like awesome, and it means so much, and then you're like, Yeah. So what do you
Yeah.
make of that?
Yeah, I feel like I struggle with that. We talked about it a little bit when we talked about like politics, how I'm really bad at like engaging with things and tools and systems that may have the capacity to bring about change and bring about joy and like much needed relief for people, when those tools and systems are also really, in my view, corrupt at the end of the day. I'm really bad at like, I'm kind of just like, I kind of disengage from all of it and don't know how to like engage with it even in some small way. So I say that kind of in general, but I feel like lately I've kind of been working on that. Like lately I'm kind of working on like, just because things exist within really corrupt systems and institutions doesn't mean they don't contain good. It doesn't mean they aren't useful for people and helpful for people. So I think where I land right now is that like multiple things can be true at once within a performance like Bad Bunny's, and like I think it can be true that it was in many ways revolutionary. It was in many ways extremely powerful. It was definitely beautiful to me. Like just it was beautiful entertainment. It like said something culturally profound, and it was interesting and fun, and like I don't know, I could say a million things about it in terms of entertainment value, but I also think beyond entertainment value, I do also think it was powerful, and I do also think there was something in it that is useful and like meaningful for people to hold on to in a very, very dark and just like kind of evil environment. Having said all that, I also think that the platform itself is kind of evil and corrupt and kind of like, I think if we're not careful, it's like it can become sort of the opiate of the masses. Opiate? Is that what it is?
What does that mean?
Marx says. He calls religion the opiate of the masses, or the opium. Opiate. Basically just like, it's poison, right? Like, puts you to sleep, kind of lulls you. You're like zombie-like state where you're like, yes, more Lord. And you're just being lulled into a state that serves capitalism, where you continue to meet the needs of the system. So
Who said that?
I think it was Marx. Am I making that
Marx should have said that it was the cruise control of the masses. He clearly
Well
wasn't a very
said.
good communicator.
Yeah, no, that's good. I think cruise control. We can update it.
That makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. I like that. Good take. Can I ask you a personal question?
For sure.
Are you seeing someone right now?
Yeah, I am.
You are. Okay. So I had asked you this question before and you shut it down, and it was actually quite rude, but we actually had a listener write in, Jess, shout out to Jess, and said that they would like to hear the answer to this question. So I asked you to ask the person that you're seeing what they thought my worst character trait is. And in return, as you know, as a thank you, I would ask the person I'm seeing what they thought your worst character trait was.
Yeah, great.
First of all, did you do that? Did you ask that question?
I did ask that question, yes.
And was there a response?
There was, yeah.
And will it piss me off?
Yeah, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah. And I think
Maybe I should step away.
I think no matter what you say, it's going to piss me off too.
I actually thought the response was quite tasteful, the one I got on my end.
Okay, try me.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I asked the person I'm seeing, they said, basically, for this you need some context. So there was this time when we were all together and we were having a movie night and we were voting on the movie selection. And they said that during that vote, you maintained a very strategic position and then ended up actually calling for a revote before you had actually, without actually participating in the original vote. So basically, the overall assessment of that character trait was that you were playing chess while he was playing tic-tac-toe. Okay.
That is funny.
And
give
that's
him that.
And that's your worst character trait.
My worst character trait is that I played chess while others play tic-tac-toe.
Yeah, in a way, I would, if I can give you some advice, can I give you some advice? Let your hair down. You're out here sleeping with one eye open, and the rest of us are deep in REM. Okay, yeah. So you might think, oh, I'm strategic. I can play the game. I'm smart. But the rest of us are getting the beauty sleep that we need because we're sleeping with both eyes closed, right?
Wow.
And tic-tac-toe is fun. Mm-hmm. It's actually also very hard.
It is very hard. I played tic-tac-toe on Christmas Day with Jenny about 7 times. I lost every single round.
Really? And Jenny's
it was
actually
so
quite
embarrassing.
bad at tic-tac-toe.
No, I don't think Jenny's bad at tic-tac-toe.
I was playing with her the other day, and I think I won, a lot.
Well, See, it's because mind, Jenny's amazing.
It's because I play.
She can't be beat.
It's because I play so much tic-tac-toe when you're playing chess. And that's why ultimately I'm good at it.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, that is kind of astute. I think it's interesting. There's actually kind of a story behind that. There's a story behind that vote. And it's actually kind of ironic that he's saying what he's saying because he's not wrong.
But were you I maintain that strategic position to protect him?
No, it wasn't to protect him, but it was to protect someone there. It was I was working for somebody else there, but he's actually not wrong that I wasn't just enjoying the moment and voting because I wanted to vote. I was trying to make sure.
You were reading the room. You were doing social math.
I was reading the room. I was doing a lot of social math, and I was kind of the idea that everyone's having fun, and I'm just maybe overcomplicating it a little bit and being too strategic is astute.
And to be fair, he didn't actually land thinking it was a bad thing. He was I respect it. I just clocked it.
Yeah.
Okay, your turn.
I see you. We see each other. That is a line from, I want to say Real Housewives of Atlanta. You wouldn't know. Anyways, I asked the person that I'm seeing what they thought your worst character trait was. And they struggled. They really struggled. They stumbled. They weren't sure. Funny enough, it kind of was centered a little bit. Was it centered in that moment too? Maybe
hilarious.
Not really, but I do think that moment came up when we were talking about it. They said that they actually didn't call this out as a bad trait, but they said that they could see this trait leading to some bad things, that you enjoy the spotlight.
Oh my God, this is pissing me off.
I knew it would, my friend.
Oh, don't piss me off. That's crazy.
I cannot wait to watch them shake in their boots after this episode goes live.
Your days are numbered, buddy.
Just kidding.
I'm teasing.
Hope it was worth it.
No, listen, I have been known to dabble in the art of the performance. So yeah, I guess whatever, way to state the obvious.
Yeah, now you could. Do you wanna say his worst quality? I know it's on the tip of your tongue at this point.
Well, no, I don't have a worst trait of his on the tip of my tongue. That'd be crazy.
Okay, they didn't sign up for this.
Okay, no, that is really good. That's good. And I'm glad we were able to get to that. Are there any other housekeeping areas before we move on to the topic of the day?
I do want to say something. And this is about, we talked about this last episode. We talked about Justin Bieber's underwear performance.
Yes.
And Lady Gaga's stripped down t-shirt performance.
Yeah.
And I watched her performance again because I wanted to remember
Yeah.
the vibe. And I here's what I thought about this, okay? So I still don't like her performance as much as I liked his. I liked that Justin Bieber's was just him. And like we
Sure.
talked about that. Hers, like she had like a pianist and like a couple guitarists, a drummer, whatever. She didn't look like she looked a little off, but like that's neither here nor there. And I found the performance itself just like there's a point at the end where it like gets really good, and I'm like, okay, that was sick. But other than that, I wasn't that like taken by anything that was going on. Whereas with Justin Bieber, I was like taken the whole time. I was like, damn, his voice, the music, the like, it felt intimate. You know what I mean? However, I was thinking about it, and I'm like, in my heart of hearts, I just know that everything I'm saying is sprinkled with misogyny. Like I can feel that it's there, and I can't quite identify it and separate it from like my actual opinion, but I know that that's there. So I think it was apt of you to raise that point.
Thank you for admitting that. That was very brave.
I thought, we have to go there, right?
Could you apologize maybe to Lady Gaga?
I would be happy to apologize to Lady Gaga. I'm sorry.
Okay, so you have to remember that last week, I think you made a big, long, very heartfelt, very robust apology to Comfort.
2 for 2 on the misogyny
So
train.
this is actually crazy, and
Wow.
we're actually
Okay,
sensing a pattern on the train.
Honestly, we have to kill the misogyny within us before we can tackle it in the world. Lady
You heard
Gaga,
it
I
here,
want to
folks,
say to
first.
you that I have been harsh towards you. I have not given you the same grace that I've given to a man. It's embarrassing to even say out loud. And I will be donating to something. I don't know. It's like so much easier to say that I'll donate to like the Amateur DJs of America. With her, I'm just like, no, but all her causes that she stands for are like good and solid. So like it's not funny.
There's no
Whereas,
comedy
like,
in that.
There's no comedy in that.
No, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that, and I'm sure Lady will as well. Is that his name? Lady. I'm sure
think her name is
Gaga,
Stephanie.
Lady will appreciate it.
Miss Lady.
Okay, no, it's Miss Gaga. Okay, so today, okay.
Are you okay?
So today, we're talking about image maintenance, and I have something I am very excited to talk about because, and to remind the folks at home, we're talking about this sort of like arc, the anatomy of the scandal. We've talked about needing visibility, and then having like that process of creating and co-creating your image. And now we're talking about holding on to that image and maintaining it. And this is when things kind of start to get tricky, when things kind of start to like fall apart a little bit. And then like the last time we brought this up, I think you were talking about like Nicolandria from Love Island is like
How
a
could I
great
forget?
example. What?
How could I forget?
Yeah, of image maintenance. And I actually came across a great example of image maintenance, which was The Moment by Charlie XCX. It is her mockumentary that she put out, and it was out for like one day only, or like 2 days. And it was honestly so good. It was very funny. It was very, very well done. But it was all like, basically it was like a response to like what anybody does when they have a really successful album and then tour, is like their people are like, well, now you have to like make a tour film. Like we have to just extend this as long as possible. And so it was basically like her version of that. But it was like very creative, very clever, and just really like kind of like mocking the industry. And it was all about her people being like, how do we make Brat Summer last forever? Like this was so good and like so popular. It was bigger than all of us. Like, how do we hold on to Brat Summer forever? And like, it just like watches the whole thing become so like, just like a caricature of itself, and just becomes so like commercial, like all of this stuff. And even at the beginning of the movie, as I was watching all these like corporate people scurry around being like, how do we make Brat like live on? I was like, what a conundrum and what a scary thing to be in a position where you're doing your thing, you're doing, like, you've been in this industry for God knows how long, and then you, like, make this album, and basically half of the world have just, like, declared your album the thing of a season. Like, I can only imagine how stressful that is, and I thought, like, her documentary did a really good job of kind of, like, capturing that. But I was like, that is exactly it. It's so fun making the thing. Yeah. And I think she even talked about this. It's so fun making the thing. And then, like, watching it take off is, like, really cool and really exciting. And then once somebody's like, how are you going to hold on to this? Yeah. It's just terrifying and devastating.
Yeah. That sounds really scary. And it sounds like you're trying to outrun something. Like, you're trying to, like, outrun this thing that is chasing you, which is, like, your inevitable irrelevance or something. Like, people just completely losing interest in you. Even, like, and I don't know, maybe I'm calling this way too early, but even Taylor Swift, who I just have no time for. I really don't. And it's not personal. We don't need to get into it. I just don't have time for her.
Her time will never end.
You think her time will... I kind of think it's ending. Like, I feel like the way that people responded to her last album, like the Swifties specifically, they were kind of like... And I don't know anything about the album. Anyone can make an album that's not received well, so I'm not saying that she's done. But I just think, like, what a scary thing to be so, like, I don't know, regarded in a certain way and held in a certain esteem and just be, like, wondering when you're gonna lose it. Not to mention, when you think about something like Brat Summer, like, part of what works about stuff like that is its authenticity, right? Like, people are attracted to this, like, little weirdo coming on their screen and just, like, being like, I'm a brat, and like being like, hell yeah, like, that's the energy. And so they can smell when you're trying to, like, do too much, and they don't really fuck with that. So I'm like, ugh, that sounds like a terrifying experience.
It is terrifying. You'll forgive me when I say I had a bit of a...
I was gonna say, you sound like you're talking from experience.
I am. I had a very visceral image maintenance season. Wow. And I haven't talked about this much.
You have.
This is the first time I'm really coming out and speaking out on this.
You're very brave.
But the year 2022, actually, I would say 2021 to 2022, the whole, like, year and a half, is what I refer to mentally as award season. Oh. And it was just this time in my life where I was getting all these awards.
Nice.
Okay. So for the folks at home, this thing happened. It was all very outside of my control. But, you know, I wound up starting this, like, local magazine, which is a bunch of creatives. It was great. It was awesome. And it was all about, like, platforming Black people in Calgary, all of that. Great. And the season, the time, it was real ripe for that type of content and for that type of, like, organization, so to speak. And so, like, a lot was happening. That was the year, like, I got top 40. That was the year I got, like, some grants for the magazine. Then a little bit later, I got, like, the alumni award. Like, there was just, and then I was doing a podcast at the time, like, that won an award.
You go, girl.
Yeah, no, it was very exciting. There was just a lot of, like, good things happening, and there was a lot of spotlight on me during that time. And while it was, like, awesome and I was grateful, it wasn't something I was chasing. It was just kind of something that, like, was chasing me. Someone had made a very unastute comment at the time about, like, how that was, like, my number one goal. Like, I was in it for, like, the awards, and I was in it.
Me?
No, it was not you. And I was like, it just could not be further from the
Well, who was
headspace.
it? Come on, put them on blast. Let's talk talk about
If
it.
you think deeply, you know who it is. And I'm literally like, I'm not, you know how you like don't say murderers' names because it's like you're giving them what they want?
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
who.
there's no fucking way I'm saying this person's name. They absolutely wish I'd make their I'd make their wet dream. I'd make their day is what I was gonna say. But yeah, it was honestly so stressful. Like the first like time something came about or a award came out or whatever, it was like awesome, this is exciting. And then they were kind of rolling through. It was like very stressful. And then this idea that like I have to maintain this and I have to grow this, yet this all kind of fell in my lap. Like, and I don't want to be the steward of this. Like,
Right.
It just felt very stressful. And I remember the moment when I was like, I'm walking away from this for like a variety of reasons, but I was like, it's time to walk away. And my biggest, the reason I held on for so long was that image, like that feeling of like, I have built this image as this person associated with all of these things, and the recognition is coming in. And if I don't maintain this, then like I felt like I was gonna die. Like it feels
So
really.
is it fair to say that them who will not be named was totally wrong?
They were wrong in the sense that like the idea of I did not get into the business at the time for this recognition. There was no part of me that thought anyone would be interested in it.
Right.
Honestly, I was kind of just doing it to do it. I was like, we were all doing it to kind of like express ourselves.
Yeah.
And then the recognition started coming, and then it was kind of like, okay, well, it would be irresponsible to just like let this go, both to the organization that we were building and also like to myself. Like I was like, this is an opportunity. Like, hell yeah, I'm going to take advantage of it. So yeah, of course that fed it, but that wasn't
why you were
Yeah, that wasn't why I was doing it. So them who shall not be named in summary can get
Is
fucked.
that a right use of the pronoun? Them who will, or they who will not be named? They who will not be named. Right?
Yes, they who will not be named.
They who will not be named.
Okay, so yeah, those are my thoughts on image maintenance. As you can tell, I have a very personal attachment to the whole thing. And I don't want to say me and Charlie XCX are the same, but when I was watching the moment, I was like, girl, I get it.
Yeah.
It is very stressful.
Don't try to act like your job's alike.
Do you have any other thoughts on image maintenance? I hope not.
Okay, well, with an invitation like that,
You can say-
I'm good.
Great. And please, if you do, please feel welcome. Because I have some things that I need to move to.
Go for it.
This is kind of under the banner of do you care? But it's not rapid fire. So I wanted to set aside some time for it.
Okay.
So first things first, I am watching the America's Next Top Model documentary.
Oh,
and
I cannot
it is
wait
so
to watch it.
Damn good. It's so good. It is so
Can we
good.
save it for next episode so that I can watch it? We can talk about it.
Absolutely. Yes. And I actually haven't finished it. I'm like one episode in. What I would want to ask you, though, this is not specific to this, is do you subscribe to, what are your thoughts on retroactive canceling? So people kind of going back, re-experiencing this show from like the early 2000s and being like, absolutely get fucked, Tyra Banks, you know? Thoughts on
Yeah,
that?
I mean, I think that is like there's something reasonable about looking back and being like, what was happening? And then I think certainly it's fair to expect some kind of like, what is your response to this, Tyra? Like, we all have the ability to grow and change and reflect on our behavior, so I think it's very reasonable to ask that of her, like, where do you stand now? And I think if she sort of stands by and like doesn't show some sense of accountability and some kind of like reflection that aligns with how a viewer sees the world, I think they're well within their rights to be like, all right, no thanks, I'm not interested.
What do you think about the argument of, because like, yeah, Tyra is in the doc and everything like that. Yeah, that. And again, this isn't specific to the doc because, but what do you think about the
All the
argument?
clips I've seen, I'm like, girl, you are embarrassing yourself.
I'm so excited. What do you think in general? Because in general, anytime like a retroactive kind of call out or canceling happens, there's pretty standard response, which is like, we were all a product of our time. It was a different time. And like, yeah, looking back now, that is super rough, but like, it was a different time then.
Yeah.
What do you make of that argument and the idea of those people from back then who did the like bad things being like, what do you want from me? Like, somebody is going to come here 20 years from now and call you out for the exact same thing. We're all a product of our time. And especially when that person was considered, you know, like
a trailblazer.
A trailblazer in terms of like pushing industries forward or like being, when they're considered that of their time. What do you make of them sort of being like, I don't know what you want from me. I could only do so much. And like, yeah.
I mean, I think I get it. Like, I get being tired and just being like, what do you want? I was also a hero. Like, so, like, I get being annoyed by that. I do think there's just a level of, like, eating shit. Is that the expression? That people have to do when you're, like, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Where you just have to kind of, like, be like, yeah, I fucked up, or like, yeah, I was a product of my time, but like, woof, like, you know what I mean? You just have to really get that and like take some accountability for it. You're not responsible for the culture, like, I totally get that, but I do think if there isn't any of that energy, then I'm kind of like, I get why you're bitter or a little bit like hardened to the critique, but you can't really get away with not having some real remorse around that, you know?
Sure. Yeah. There's got to be room for both.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yeah.
What is something that if you like blew up today would be found on any social media platform that you would be like, oh, this is going to get me, like, has the potential to get me in big trouble?
I keep my shit tight.
I have one that's bad.
On a social media platform? Mm-hmm. I think the biggest thing that would have the potential to get me into some trouble would probably be like this.
This podcast?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, I'm sure I would say something. I'll say something.
I mean from your past, like from years ago. Like 10 years ago.
Oh, you mean like if I blew up right now?
Yeah, if you blew up right now, what could people find from like 10 years ago, 15 years ago?
On social media.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just thought I know your answer. Yeah, definitely nothing like that. Goddamn. Yeah, that shit is rough. Folks, listen, I can't in good conscience tell you what it is, but just go do some digging on your own.
I think I should expose myself.
I think you should. That shit was...
It's not my fault, though.
No, it's
like,
not. You're just trying to fit in.
I was just trying
You're doing
to fit
your
in.
best.
It's pretty bad, though. Like, what the fuck? What in the, like, Uncle Sam?
Why don't you set the stage?
Okay, the year was what? 2000 and... Later than it should be.
I was going to say,
2000,
not early enough.
Yeah, 2008, maybe? It's on Facebook.
Definitely on Facebook.
That'll tell you something.
We were at camp.
And somebody thought...
No, it was a special... So, like, there was the dinner. It was a theme night at dinner. It was, like...
yeah.
Twins night.
Yeah, twins night. And somebody... I was dressing up as someone and they were dressing up as me. So we're like, cool, we go do our things. We're like, oh, I know what I'm going to wear. We dress up as each other. Like, we had the similar clothes, like color shirt, whatever. We come out and they had fully done blackface.
Wait,
like,
were you aware that they were doing this?
No.
You weren't?
No.
Oh.
I mean, okay, in good conscience, I can't say that like 20 years ago, I'm like, I had no, like, I don't remember.
Yeah.
In truth,
I
don't
was always
remember.
under the impression that, like, it was a collaborative.
I hope not, but I don't think so, Tony. I don't think so. I think it happened to me, And I think I actually remember at the time, I can remember a tiny, tiny bit of discomfort.
Sure.
Nothing close to what I would have now, obviously. But I do remember being like, this feels weird. But like, ha 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 ha, it's hilarious going on with the bit.
Why did you delete the picture?
Why did I?
Why didn't you?
It wasn't my picture.
Oh, okay.
I think I untagged myself.
Fair.
So maybe you couldn't find it. I mean, obviously you'd find it, but anyway, it's pretty bad. And I think like maybe 10 years, probably not even, probably 5 years later, I was like, this picture is horrible. And honestly, I want to take full accountability for what happened. I don't think I should take full accountability.
I think you need to take full
Just
accountability.
because, I was in a rough spot, but that is a dark memory. And I'm ashamed.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
of it.
That's pretty bad. I certainly don't have anything like that.
Lucky you.
Oof. Yeah, okay. No, thank you for sharing that. Very brave. You've been very brave
So. I
today.
thought that was vulnerable.
Okay, yeah, that was very vulnerable. The last thing I want to do, and we really need to wrap. So maybe we do this next week. But I did want to ask you, this is going to be part of the Do You Care? But maybe if you do have opinions on it, we can talk about it next episode. But if it's a I don't care, then that's easy. Are you following the conversation around Blue Ivy versus Northwest?
No.
Basically, the internet has a lot of thoughts on like how both of them are dressing and how they're like being allowed to dress and their kids, and then people are being like, I've seen the argument of like they're both, it's like it's super inappropriate for both of them, and then I've seen the argument of like, no, Beyonce is raising Blue Ivy, whereas Kim is managing Northwest, and like people are putting them against each other, being like, this is like how a 13-year-old should appropriately be dressing, and like Blue Ivy is a good example, and then Northwest. Either way, it's weird. It's like weird. That there's a big conversation around these. Like they're like 12, I think. I don't know. But are you following that conversation? Do you care? Do you have thoughts?
I'm definitely not following that conversation. I have heard rumblings of like Northwest, I think, and how she's dressing. I definitely don't care. The only thing I care about is like just stop talking about people's kids. You know what I mean? Like I think it's kind of weird. And I mean, if you have thoughts, if you feel so strongly about it, just maybe implement your thoughts and feelings in your own home, and don't worry so much about what like a child is doing. It's just weird.
What if the person making comments is infertile?
First of all, I don't think infertile is like a...
Oh, sorry. We're not allowed to use that word.
That just doesn't seem like a socially aware term.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to the community.
But also, like, if you don't have kids, then, like, maybe don't worry about it. I mean, you can have a personal opinion, sure, but, like, you don't need to be publicly sharing about other people's kids. I mean, imagine being born into one of those homes. It just sounds really complicated.
Yeah, it sounds totally tricky. Okay. We need to wrap this up.
Mm-hmm. Happy to.
Are you comfortable to wrap, or do you have any final thoughts for me or questions?
No, I just want to make sure I got all your Do You Cares.
Yeah.
Okay.
That about does it. Thank you.
Great.
Folks. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Until next time.